BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
And hello and welcome to Open, the one and only show that opens the Bronx and the rest of the world right to you. I'm your host, Darren Hyman, and today we'll update you on what's happening in and around our community. Coming up on today's show, we'll find out about an organization preparing young people to not only thrive in the tech-driven economy, but to innovate and problem solve. Then we'll talk to an airbrush artist that has designed some pieces for some of entertainment's elite. Some people like Mariah Carey, Beyonce, Madonna, and Missy Elliott, just to name a few. We'll find out what he is up to. And after that, the Anti-Violence Summit is a call for action with the recent rise of gun violence. Find out how you can get involved in the course. I should say in the cause. And also the main organizer of the Bronx Digital Meetup is going to be here telling us about an event that will help you to build out the framework for a clean, functional website for yourself as well as your business. And finally, it's healthy eating at Bronx Works, and they want to make sure you do it right. All this and much more is heading your way because right now, we're officially open. And hello everyone, I'm your host Darren Hyman. Today is Wednesday, July the 2nd. Of course, you're watching Open, the only live and interactive program bringing the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. We want to encourage you to stay connected to us. You can find out about us at Twitter at BronxNet TV and Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. Well, starting things off, there were 26 shootings in the 5 boroughs between Monday, June 23rd and Sunday, June 29th. Police sources say compared to 37 during the same week in 2013. A number still too high, and this is why our next guest is co-organizing Seeking Solutions, an anti-violence summit, a call for action, and from the community as well as for elected officials. We now welcome to the show Clark Pena, and welcome to Open, and good to have you back.
Always a pleasure to be here with you.
Good. As we said, those numbers are pretty high, alarming, and for many people in New York City, quite unacceptable. And I know yourself and others really want to put the word out that we have to do something about this violence.
Absolutely. We're looking at only gun violence. There was numerous amounts of stabbings also during that period of time, and that hasn't been put out forward. But something has to be done, and to sit down and do nothing about it is a crime in itself.
Mm-hmm. So what are you organizing now?
Under the leadership of Dr. Sean Gardner, who, first of all, I must congratulate, he just got appointed as Deputy Commissioner of Community Affairs for Mount Vernon Police Department. We're going to be conducting an anti-violence summit. It's in Manhattan, but it's open to the 5 boroughs. And we're looking for participants with ideas, people that have questions, and we just want to be able to come to the summit, find some solutions, and save lives.
When you talk about solutions, obviously, we know that guns are on the streets and they've been out there for quite a minute. What's the conversation like with the police department in terms of dealing with the whole issue of gun violence?
Well, having numerous friends in the police department, I think the issue, once again, is we must revisit the option of stop, question, and frisk. Sometimes, and like I speak to a lot of civil libertarians, I tell them, look, it's not always about being politically correct. It's about being correct. And we have to save lives. And if that is a tool, let's revisit it. Let's tweak it in whatever way it can be done. But it has to be, in my opinion, it should be brought back with some type of monitoring.
Mm-hmm. Community participation is key in this because obviously
Absolutely.
you have those offenders who are out there with guns, but yet and still some community residents say, I don't want to say anything, don't want to really be involved. What's the sense that you're getting about people, given the fact that you're seeing these numbers?
Well, believe it or not, the calls have been coming in for people that want to participate. We also have a lot of calls from elected officials that want to be part of our panels. We received a lot of calls from crime victims that also want to be part and ask some questions. We have gotten some calls from medical professionals that want to, on this day, which is unfortunate, but it is necessary, want to teach people how to treat wounds on the street in case someone is shot or injured, how to give them trauma aid at that point in time. So we're getting calls from all over, people that want to participate, and we welcome participants to this summit.
So as you walk us through the summit per se, what will we see throughout the course of the day?
The first thing we're going to do is we've gotten some commitments from the mayor's office of people that want to, in high levels of government that want to participate. Obviously, we will allow them to participate. We also will be having a panel of crime victims. We'll have a panel of elected officials, a panel of law enforcement professionals, a panel of medical professionals, and at the end of the day, we hope that we'll walk out of there with some type of solution to this critical epidemic of crime in our 5 boroughs.
So walk us back to stop and frisk, because I know that's still a major issue of contention right now. And so your position, your perspective with regards to stop and frisk in dealing with all of this.
I personally feel that it's a tool that law enforcement officials need. I think to discuss it is something that's very important after so many shootings and stabbings in our city. Let's once again, it's an issue, and I understand about being politically correct, but at the end of the day, when you have a child getting stabbed in an elevator on his way to get ice cream, stabbed and killed, let's stop trying to be so politically correct, and let's be correct.
Now, what do you say to critics who say, listen, okay, and with all due respect, understanding what happens with this child, but then you have innocent people who are being unfairly targeted, unfairly stopped, unfairly frisked, and that number continues to rise. How do you answer those critics?
Let's discuss it. Let's talk. It is a tool that can help us keep our community safe as long as it is monitored, and we will be discussing that in this summit.
Are you optimistic that it might return?
I'm a law-abiding citizen. I have no problem ever being stopped. It's just people are dying. 23 people shot just over the weekend. Something has to be done, and to do nothing is a crime in itself. And if that's something that we have to revisit, so be it.
And so let's give people the information about the Seeking Solutions Anti-Violence Summit.
You can reach out to one of our assistants, Anna Elmore, at 917-224-3208. You can also email us at seekingsolutions3@gmail.com. We welcome everybody. This is a we issue, not a me issue. Let's save lives together.
And it's important that, lives are saved, but the conversation is had. How amicable is the discussion between police and community? Because, there's a lot of tension there, given the fact of, several questionable incidents. You've got the whole issue of whether or not we can actually get along to have a conversation and be able to deal with some of these community issues. I'll ask you, what's the temperature like?
Well, we have to find a way to be able to discuss and come together to seek solutions. Once again, innocent people cannot continue to get shot and stabbed in our city. So if there are any animosity amongst us, something like for this summit, we're going to have a sign at the door, leave your egos at the door. Because at the end of the day, it's about seeking solutions and saving lives.
And after the conversation, then what?
We're going to keep talking. We just can't let this be a one-day affair. Innocent people need to be protected, and we deserve better. And we're going to continue the conversation.
Can you give me a little bit about the police and community in terms of, I know there's a community affairs officer, there's community involvement there in terms of the community affairs officer being that liaison between the community. What else is being done in terms of bringing the community on board and making them a part of this widespread problem?
Something I have seen that there's a different approach from Police Commissioner Bratton is that he's reaching out to the local clergy, bringing the clergy folks, business folks, community advocates together to find a common goal, and that goal is to keep people safe and save lives. I think that it's a good track to take, and we're going to refocus on that movement on this day at this summit.
Given the fact that Commissioner Bratton was the initial commissioner under stop and frisk, now stop and frisk being removed, questions are looming as to the public trust factor. From what do you see, how's the public trust factor with Commissioner Bratton thus far?
Well, it has been different. It has been different. His approach has been different. He is very community-oriented this time around. Mm-hmm. He will be partaking in this summit. He will have his top officials there, and I think that's a plus. There has to be a time and place to sit down and find common ground, and it's for the purpose of keeping people safe.
So once again, the organizing, I should say he's the organizer, Clark Pena, is seeking solutions for the Anti-Violence Summit. Now, if you want more information, you can contact Anna Elmore, and her number is?
917-224-3208.
All righty, and so we want you to come on out to the Eastward Baptist Church, 2011 First Avenue. That's 103rd, 104th Street, where this conversation is going to be had, and certainly we invite you to be a part of it. And hopefully we can make some progress on this situation, because certainly with the amount of shootings that are taking place across New York City, a lot of people have a lot of questions. Clark, thanks a lot.
Well, thank you for having me.
All righty, we're going to take a quick break, but when we return, find out how Bronx Work Farmers Market that is going to open up soon is going to be right in your neighborhood, and how you can take part. We want you to stay tuned. Coming right back right after this.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all working with United Way for a million little reasons. The kids of our communities. To ensure their academic success all the way to graduation day. You see, it takes about 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a kid becoming one or the other could be a professional athlete, or it could be you. Studies showed the earlier we get to kids, the better their chances. So become a United Way volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, and make a difference in the life of a child, for the life of that child.
Give.
Advocate.
Volunteer.
Live united. Join your favorite NFL players. Take the pledge. Go to unitedway.org.
And we are back here on Open. The Bronx Works Heights Community Farmers Market is an example of the growing importance of farmers markets that promote healthy eating in underserved neighborhoods. Here now to tell us more is Bronx Works Farmers Market Manager Kimberly Wong and Betty Burtz, Heights Community Farmers Market volunteer, and we welcome you both to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kimberly, I guess I'll kick it off with you. And so having a farmers market right here in the borough of the Bronx is a pretty important and a major step, especially in the area of healthy living, healthy eating.
Yes, absolutely.
So share with us a little bit about the market.
So our market is a community-run farmers market, meaning we are run by volunteers. It's a pretty small market. We have a couple of vendors from upstate New York. They come down, bring their produce, and a couple local urban growers as well. that grow produce in the Bronx and then sell it back to the Bronx. So we do a lot of educational programming out of the market as well, education for nutrition, healthy living, active living as well, for physical activity. And then we accept all kinds of payment, including EBT, SNAP, food stamps, and WIC, fruit and vegetable checks, WIC Farmers Market Nutrition Program coupons, and Seniors Farmers Market Nutrition Program coupons.
So what can we find at this farmers market?
Well, you can find Betty.
Vegetables, basically, and fruits, and we have different programs, and it's really, because of the obesity rates, and we started out with the seniors from the Heights, and so we started it right in the Heights, and we'd go out to the market and bring in the vegetables, and it just started to grow from there.
What does it mean to be in, because we always talk about this word underserved neighborhoods, and underserved neighborhoods all the time are pretty challenged when it comes to having healthy food, fresh fruits, fresh produce right in their own backyard. What does it mean to have something like this in literally your own backyard?
It means a great deal because we have people come out every week. They look forward to us being there, and we have great conversation, and we get to know each other. And I'm a senior, so I represent the seniors from the from the farmers market. So it's we learn about each other, and we look forward to seeing each other every week.
We're seeing a couple of pictures right now, and give us a little bit about this.
That is our farmer, Pastor Ferris. He's actually a pastor, and he grows food. And one of our youth volunteers, this is last summer.
And so they're out there.
They have really big zucchini.
Yeah, it looks a little big there,
This is our group that we have, our volunteers, some youth, and our staff, and farmers. We're all really happy.
We have cooking. We have cooking. Come out and make dishes from. We use the vegetables that's on the market. We use whatever's there that day, and then make different dishes from that, and we give that out. So it's nutrition.
Awesome. We give people an opportunity to learn how to prepare these fresh ingredients in a way that's delicious, easy, and nutritious. Right,
and nutrition being the key, and with obesity being such a big thing across the United States, and particularly here in the borough of the Bronx, do you feel like you guys are really filling a much-needed gap?
Yeah, in the neighborhood that where the market is, it's 181st and University Avenue, across from Bronx Community College. There's not a whole lot of fresh produce available, and it's certainly not farm fresh, as fresh as this that we're getting at the farmers market. So, generally we're seeing pizza, fast food, a lot of things that aren't really healthy and contribute to obesity and diabetes, heart disease, all those diet-related diseases that are so high in the Bronx.
So,
these vegetables are not sprayed with any chemicals. They're fresh vegetables. They are organic. So they don't use any chemicals on them.
Yeah, and I think that's important because I think a lot of people worry about when you say fresh, sometimes they're sprayed and they're not really fresh. But you're saying, yes, absolutely want to let the people know that they're fresh.
They're fresh. They're not sprayed.
So let's give the address again for somebody who's in the borough of the Bronx and wants to just check out this market.
Okay, it's at the corner of 181st Street and University Avenue. It's right across from the main gate of Bronx Community College.
And so opening day is Thursday, July the 10th.
Yeah, next Thursday, opening day. We're going to have a whole schedule of events. We actually have a bomba performance planned by Dr. Drum and the Las Perlas de Bombayo.
And our seniors?
Yes, they're seniors. They're a dance troupe, and they're going to be playing the drums. It's going to be...
Oh, you said senior dance troupe?
Yes.
All right.
And we also have cooking demonstrations planned, a farmers market tour so we can get customers oriented with the farmers market, and a lot of people are coming out, so it's going to be a fun time.
So tell us, Betty, what would you want people to know about your market?
To come out, have fun, enjoy the sun, and you're going to get, what they said, if the worms don't want it, then you don't want to eat it either. So it's absolutely fresh, and we just have fun.
And so, Kimberly, as we get ready to wrap things up, I want to ask you, for people who want more information about the farmers market, how they go about doing that.
You can reach me at 718-933-5300 or K Wong at bronxworks.org.
Okay, so we want you guys to come on out and be a part of that, and let you know that you have a very special farmers market right here in the borough of the Bronx. Fresh produce, and we want you to know it's organic and not sprayed and all that good stuff. And so come on out and be a part of it. Thursday, July the 10th is going to be the day that they open up. And so congratulations.
Thank you.
Best wishes, and we're hoping for a wonderful turnout for you on July 10th.
All right, thank you very much.
All righty. Well, guess what? We got to take a quick break. But first, we're going to our Bronx Net correspondent, Arlene Makoko, who is going to come to us live from the Bronx County Courthouse. Arlene, take it away.
He's going to count it down.
Okay, Darren, this is all a part of the Bronx Centennial Celebration. The Bronx Borough President's Office and the Tourism Council are asking for photographers, both amateurs and the experienced, to join what they're calling the Bronx Scavenger Hunt. It's a competition where they're forming teams of 4 people with a total of 40 teams that'll go across the Bronx and earn points by taking photos of Bronx cultural institutions, landmark buildings, and neighborhoods to celebrate the new Bronx. So this is not just a celebration of the past. This is also an opportunity to look at and recognize the economic activity that that has formed and has created what's called the new Bronx. So entries are being accepted right now on www.isleofthebronx.com. First place winners will receive $2,500. There are prizes for others. It will begin right here, 9 a.m., July 12th at 161st Street and the Grand Concourse. So if you have any more questions about this event, you can go to www.isleofthebronx.com. Back to you, Darren.
And, thank you, Arlene, and make sure you sign up fast for your chance at $2,500. We'll be back right after this.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Look at me. Hey. Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
And welcome back to Open. I'm your host, Darren Hyman. Our next guest is best known for his success as an airbrush artist and has designed some pieces for some of entertainment's elite. But we'll let him share who he's worked with, and he'll also tell us what he's currently up to. We'll welcome airbrush artist and author John Carl Martin, a.k.a. Jay Martin, to the show, and good to have you.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So let's start off like this. You've been a very busy guy throughout your life.
I have been.
And doing a lot of art. And as we said in the beginning, the art that you've done has not just been locally, but it's actually been for some celebrities. So share with us a little bit about it.
It's actually been globally.
Globally.
Well, I've done work for a lot of the, like you said, Hollywood elite, entertainers, sports. I think my most visual pieces would be the ones I've done for Missy Elliott. All of the Aaliyah artwork she's worn in the past, that's all my work.
Okay. And so when people get a chance to see that Aaliyah artwork, they're seeing you.
Exactly.
And how long have you been doing this?
Feels like all my life. I've actually been professionally doing art for over 20 years, about 23, 24 years now.
And what was your passion? Did you have a particular thing with art that you were just passionate about?
Really just producing great art. I'm known for customized work, so people would come to me, tell me what they want, and I would interpret that visually. And whether it's a mural at the home, a T-shirt, on a car, I've done that.
And what's the time frame? Somebody says, "Listen, I love to see, beautiful cars. I want a cadre of cars, and I want you to design some art for me, a mural of cars." How long does it take you to really get in the mode and do what you do?
Well, it varies. The car I actually did in the Missy Elliott video with Aaliyah and Left Eye on it, I actually did that overnight. They brought it to me the day before. They needed it for 7 the next morning, and I produced.
Just that quick?
That quick. And be honest with you, I can't tell you how it's done. I just know that's what you need, and that's what I do.
And you're able to just turn it around and make it and make it happen. Now, how many years have you been doing this?
Like 23 years now.
23 years.
Yeah.
Now, it changes for you throughout the course of your years because, you focus in different ways. And so right now you're taking your art and you're taking it to a different level too.
Exactly. Right now my current passion is a children's book, a book that I co-author with my daughter. Co-author and illustrated. It was inspired by her.
So how's it inspired by your daughter?
How was?
Yeah, how was it? Yeah.
Well, we started collaborating with doing drawings when she was about 7. And a year later, we were sitting in the house, and she wanted to go out and play. And I said, we can't go out and play. Why don't we just draw a little? And she said, what should I draw? I said, well, we created these characters. We call them Happy and Joy. And I said, let's draw Happy and Joy at the park. And she was like, well, what would they do at the park? I said, what do you do at the park? And she said, go on the swing, Daddy? I said, yes, draw them on the swing. And she did a sketch in about 2 minutes, totally blew me away. And I was like, wow, do another one. She was like, what else do they do? I said, what else would you do? So she started drawing all of these different activities that we do. On the swing, on the slide, hiking, just running in the park. And it totally inspired me. And that's how the book came around.
And so now you're taking it to another level.
Yes. We've just published our second book, which is A Day at the Beach. And we actually have a total of 5 books complete.
And so as you get these books, what do you want people to take away from them?
Well, the mission behind the books, the book series is called What Makes Me Happy, What Brings Me Joy. The first one's The Day at the Park, the second one's The Day at the Beach, and they are dedicated to inspiring children of all ages to live happier, healthier lives by doing what makes them happy and doing what brings them joy.
And with these books here, obviously people have the opportunity to see art, but also there's another message behind the art too.
Exactly. Another interesting factor about the book is that I'm from Barbados. Originally, I'm from Barbados, and the characters are created from our flag. It's pretty different. The mouth is a trident, and that is directly from our flag, which is a trident in the center of the flag.
Okay. So I'm going to see if I can get this over here. Let me take it right here. See, so we talked about the mouth being, I guess this camera's going to have to pick us up here. But so what else do you have? You said talk about the mouth being the trident, which is the flag.
Yeah, the mouth a trident, and the eyes, which were actually inspired by one of my daughter's drawings. The eyes are windows. She did a drawing when she was 7, and that drawing was used to develop the characters.
Beautiful. And so what makes me happy, what brings me joy is one of a few books that are out there. We want you to be able to get that now. It's by Destiny J. Martin and John Carl Martin. It's not often that a father-daughter tandem comes together. Were you surprised that you guys were able to come out and make this happen?
Not exactly, because my relationship with my daughter has always been a very close one, and it's so amazing. I think she came in just knowing things that others forget. And she's, you know, she loves nature, she loves people, and like most kids, she loves to smile. So it was just natural that it was developed that way, and lucky for me, I guess, I would say for her, but it's really for me, that I've had this career as an artist, and I was able to interpret her drawings and present them in a way in the children's book.
I think I know the answer to the question, but I'm asking anyway. What makes you happy? What gives you joy? The fact that you've been able to do these things for these celebrities and been so, you know, or
Exactly.
the opportunity to go ahead and do something with your daughter.
Exactly. Were you asking me? Tell me
Which one? Which one would you choose?
Which one did I choose?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely doing the book. I just told someone recently that I love the audience that I cater to now. Children. You know, they're the most beautiful people on the earth. You know, at that level where they're filled with so much love. You know, you see a kid, they smile, they laugh. You're more likely to get a smile out of a kid than you would an adult. You know, that brings me joy. You know, putting smiles on people's faces.
So what do you do next? Now that I mean, it seems like you've done it all, but what's next for you?
Next, I think, would be more of the inspirational speaker. I have taught art to kids in Los Angeles, you know, did art presentations in Barbados. I love to do more of that, presenting my book, inspiring others on how to use the talents that they currently have to create a way of living, a way of life. You know, when I was growing up, art wasn't well known as one of those careers that kids think that they can actually make a living on. You know, fortunately for me, I was encouraged by my mom and my dad. They always encouraged me, and I was able to develop those skills. And I think that kids really need that kind of encouragement. They need to see examples of it and speak to someone who has actually walked that path. You know, like I said, I've taught, I've worked with celebrities, and my work is seen worldwide. And I'm looking forward to inspiring others.
So when you take your things globally, what is it like for you to see your work globally, all across the world?
I think I'm kind of used to it now. There's no real surprise to me or whatever. In LA, we had visitors from like all over the world, as we do here, and I was positioned in a place where they came to me. And a lot of people, when they came to me, I didn't know where they came from. You know, I've done work for one of my most surprising celebrities were David Beckham in 2003. I designed a hat. My base started as a fashion designer. I don't know if I told you that. But I started as a fashion designer. I developed this company called Finiac. And David came in, he bought a hat, he went back to London, and he was hiding under his hat, you know, from the paparazzi. And it became huge. I started getting emails from Japan, Europe, whole of Asia, and everybody wanted a piece of that company. Unfortunately, they say flattery, to be copied, imitation is the best form of flattery. Right. So that company got bootlegged.
Wow.
Bootlegged in Korea. I let it go, and I reinvented myself with the book.
Wow. Wow. It's a learning lesson.
A learning experience, and I try not to be bitter about it and just keep moving.
Going back to fashion, are you still in it? Are you going to go back? What are you going to do?
I intend to go back. I'm not in it because this book is a lot more work than anticipated. It was fun developing and working on the book with my daughter, but now I have to go out and sell it.
And that's the hard part.
Yes, selling is the hard part.
Well, let's do a little selling for you. How do people go about getting the book?
Well, you can get the book on my website, which is happyislandbooks.com, and it's also available on Amazon. If you did a search for What Makes Me Happy, What Brings Me Joy by authors Destiny J. Martin and John Carl Martin, you'll find our book. They sell for $11.99.
All right.
One other thing I'd like to point out is that it was pretty amazing. When I told my daughter, I said, Destiny, we're going to make a lot of money. We're going to be rich. What do you want to do all this money? She surprised me. She said, Daddy, I want to give to charity. And she was 8 years old.
Wow. And
I was like, do you know what charity is? She said, no, I don't. After I explained, she said, yes, that's what I want to do. And that was also part of the fuel that pushes this project.
Well, thank you for coming by and sharing with us. And certainly we want people to take advantage of having that book and getting that book. And as we say, go ahead to the website. You saw it at the bottom of the screen. you can be able to get a copy of the book, What Makes Me Happy, What Brings Me Joy, Day at the Beach, Destiny J. Martin and John Carl Martin. And certainly, thank you for coming and sharing with us.
The pleasure's mine.
All righty. Well, we got to take a quick break, but when we return, the Knowledge House shares more on how they prepare young people to thrive in the tech-driven economy. Stay tuned. We're coming right back in a few.
This was me. And Mom and Dad. And my big brother Alex. And Jack. This was the day that I learned that sandals get their name from sand. And that the ocean is bigger than all of us. This was the day we all got to forget that I was sick. This was my wish.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Brush, 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 brush. Now it's your parents' time. Here's what you gotta do. You can have your toothbrush and a take and brushy brush your teeth. Good job, you're almost done. 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And shelter pets make super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
And welcome back to Open. I'm your host, Darren Jaime. The Knowledge House prepares young adults ages 16 to 24 from the South Bronx to not only thrive in the tech-driven economy, but to innovate, problem solve, and serve as leaders, as well as pay it forward to others in their community. Here now to tell us more is the co-founder of Knowledge House, Geraldine Rodriguez, and Ghassan Effie, who is a Spring 2014 Founding Innovation Fellow. Say that twice, and you might get your tongue tied. Thank you and welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, Darren.
Good. So let's get right into this here. Technology. Obviously, the way of the future, and something that a lot of people are still lacking in. And I could say as much as I think I'm technologically savvy, there's some elements I'm not. But you guys are working to help people out with that. So give us a little bit about it.
So, as you may know, the tech industry is growing. By 2020, there's going to be about 1.4 million tech jobs, and there's not enough people to fill those jobs. So we really want to train young adults in tech entrepreneurship so that they can have the skills to secure those jobs when they're available. So we just launched our first program this spring called the Innovation Fellowship in the South Bronx. We ran it for 10 Saturdays. We worked with 10 young adults. Ghassan is one of our founding fellows. And we focus on digital media, so videography skills, a little bit of editing, graphic design, 3D printing, coding, and lean startup. And they produce projects like web apps. Ghassan design a web platform. Others design like portfolio websites, and it was a great experience. So
Ghassan, when you're working with people and you're helping them to really get into this new realm of technology, because a lot of people, this is new.
Yeah.
And they're very, I would say, very scared or apprehensive. How do you walk them through it, and how do you get them to that place?
Well, first of all, I'm still learning a lot about coding and things like that, but it's really just getting a basic understanding of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So it's basically just cause and effect and what programs or what code applications can do specifically that. So what I was doing it with in the Knowledge House is starting an online campaign called Reprofiling Justice, and it's basically a campaign to sort of bridge the gap between the community and the police and kind of change the perspectives that each has of the other. So what I wanted to do first was kind of think about the basic design of the website, like what I wanted it to be, whether I wanted it to be like a blog spot or just a place where people can post up events. What it ended up being was a blog spot as well as a place that people can post events and I can share events that I'm having. So that's something that I'm still working on. And it's basically just simple code and just practice and learning, doing things over and over until you're comfortable with it.
The takeaway for some people is after they've had this kind of experience, they do want to become entrepreneurs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes.
We had a lot of graphic designers who already were great at Photoshop skills, and they wanted to take it further. If you're an artist or a graphic designer, you want to sell your craft. And so it's really important to have business skills to be able to do that. A lot of our participants came in not really knowing how to make money off of their skills. So we really taught them when you have an app, you want to focus on ad sales. What's the revenue stream that you're working on?
And so we want people to take advantage of this. So taking a look at some of the things some statistics that we have here, it says that the technology, the application of technology is projected to grow by 17% between the year 2008 and 2018 compared to a 9.8% growth for the national average. And so as the numbers continue to rise, I guess I'm saying people have to become more knowledgeable about the fact of technology is going to be the wave, already is the wave of the future. When people come in, what kind of perception do they have? Do they really get that we're really locked into the future?
Well, when I was first exposed to some of the things that they were talking about at the Knowledge House, my mind was completely blown. I could see so many pathways that this could take, especially with 3D printing and also a business that I'm working with now, thankfully through the Knowledge House, mass ideation. They have a program that they work on called augmented reality. It's basically relaying digital text onto physical properties. So it's like a simple application that reads the shape of a paper or a business card, and it shows you like a video or a robot dancing, and that can be applied to so many things like architecture. There's a picture that that was shown to me of a building, and when you place the app over the picture, the building comes up. And then you can zoom into the levels and look at the interior design of each floor. So I was like, this can be applied to textbooks or fashion lines, anything.
Does it kind of I guess it does kind of scare you because it's it's so open that, because we think that we're just doing a little something by surfing the internet, but really, to really know what can happen over the next few years, what are some of the things that we can see in the next few years that maybe that you can give us the inside look that people don't know?
Well, just at our first event, we were demoing augmented reality, also drones. Yeah. Everyone was wowed by drones. We had mini helicopters with cameras attached to them flying around everywhere, and everyone was like, wow. Amazon soon is going to be making deliveries on drones. Yeah. We don't know. Another thing is really 3D printing. Anytime that we go to an event and we demo our 3D printer, kids are just drawn to it because they've never seen something actually be created from scratch that they can do themselves. Yeah. And so these are all technologies that are going to grow and become really popular. Right now, the industry is really focused on coding, and so that's a big one. That's the no-brainer. High schools in the future might make it mandatory. And there's a lot of services out there to teach people how to code, especially for women and minorities.
So give us a little bit about the Innovation Fellowship. Kids between the ages, or I should say young people between the ages of 16 to 24 have the opportunity to participate in this. And how do they go about doing that?
So what we do is we partner with community-based organizations and tech startups or tech companies that are local to that community. And we all partner to provide these skills through workshops. So the community-based organization offers us resources and space. And, we fundraise together to host this program. And we partnered with the Point Community Development Corporation in the Bronx for our first launch. And so we're going to keep partnering with whoever wants to partner with us.
Right.
So right now we have a summer program. We are taking interns, and they're going to focus on digital media, producing digital campaigns that raise awareness about what's going on in the Bronx. Our next program will probably be in the fall or winter, and so there's an application process. The CBO helps us recruit students, and then we select, and then we just provide the workshops.
Do you have to turn people away?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a selection process based on like the resources that we have. But the more funds we get, the more people we can serve, and the more partnerships we actually create, the more capacity we build.
So give somebody like Ghassan, give us the final word here. If somebody wants to be a part of this, you've been a part of this, you've been able to tell them what they're missing.
You are missing a lot. Not only in exposure to different forms of technology, but also in like different networking opportunities. Like I said, I'm working now as an intern at Mass Ideation and learning a lot about project management and how to run a business and what goes into keeping the resource connected to the client. So that alone, like without the Knowledge House, I probably wouldn't have known anything about this position or the opportunity itself. So definitely apply. Even if you don't get in, like make sure you keep in contact and just keep informed about it.
Alrighty, so for more information, what do they do?
So we are on social media. Please like us on Facebook. You can find us at facebook.com/The Knowledge House. On Twitter, we're at The Knowledge, HOU. And visit our website, theknowledgehouse.org. You can email us directly at info@theknowledgehouse.org.
All right, well, thank you guys so much
Thank you
for
so
coming
much.
and sharing with us. And we'll tell people, be involved, because this is the
Yes.
wave of the future, and we don't want to get left behind. So thanks for being the lead on this and letting people know. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much.
All righty, well, guess what? Taking a quick break, but when we return, we're going to have some information. It's going to help you have a functional website for your business. Yes, a functional website. So that means you have to stay here, find out what we're talking about, and then you'll be able to function. Be right back.
Being a dad can be tough.
No. What do you mean she's not coming?
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now.
But when you're willing to do anything,
It is I, Cruz Zinkerbell. Okay, time for cake.
it's always worth it.
I know it's really you, Drew. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
I'm lucky. Let me help you with that. I get to do something I love. It has nothing to do with touchdowns or titles. Everybody bring it in. I get to play a part in the life of someone just starting out. How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork? I help keep kids in school. Good. And that's the name of the game. My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone. But you're not alone. At IAVA.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. IAVA.org. We've got your back.
Well, the Bronx Digital Meetup is a group of innovators looking to combine creativity and technology to better the lives of those in our communities. Here to tell us more is the main organizer of Bronx Digital Meetup, Joe Carano, and we welcome you to the show, and good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Good.
Cool. So, just to kind of talk about the how the meetup came about, I direct a business incubator, which helps people start businesses in the South Bronx. And through my work there, I met a lot of people, often people who were self-taught in technology, who were creating extremely interesting ideas. But they tended to be very separated. So my goal, through work I actually had done with the Knowledge House as well, was to bring these people together to work on ideas together, collaborate and create open source projects that would be available publicly for people not only to raise their skill set up, work together to develop new projects, new applications, put the Bronx on the map in the technology sense, but also to allow people who are interested in learning about this stuff someplace to come, work with people who are doing this, on the regular, to develop their skill sets.
How eager are people? Because I had the young ladies in our last segment talk a little bit about young people 16 to 24. How eager are people to really be involved in this world of technology and media?
Well, I mean, for younger people, we're in it already. It's just part of our lives. But people are interested in becoming creators because we're already consuming this stuff on a regular basis. So there's definitely a demand for it from the people themselves. A lot of people are a bit intimidated by it. A lot of people feel like it's heavily involved in math or, it will be too hard to learn. But really, once you start applying it, once you, practice, work on projects actively, you start to develop a skill set. You solve a problem once, and you're able to, that was one of our meetups that we had. This was with Jamal Ogawa from Code Crew, great guy. He's going to be running another workshop with us probably by the end of July or early August. And he does development workshops, developing websites, back-end systems, stuff like that. The one we're going to be doing on the 12th is going to be on WordPress. So the cool thing about WordPress is number one, it's very widely used. A ton of websites.
Everybody hears the word WordPress, but what exactly is it?
So WordPress is, in short, a content management system. So it is a website framework that you could put content on, for either a blog, a business website. They have they have a lot of plugins. So plugins are basically functions the website can do that you add to your website. So if I wanted a shopping cart, I could add a shopping cart. If I wanted a forum, I could add a forum. And you don't have to build these yourself. They're already built. You just kind of plug them in. The cool thing about WordPress is you could develop a WordPress site without having to really code anything or to code very lightly, just HTML simple stuff. But you could customize your WordPress even more if you do know how to code. So it's like that. It's not something that you need to be an expert to be able to put together something that looks good. But at the same time, if you kind of push yourself to learn a little bit more, you can make it look even better.
So let me ask this question. People with websites nowadays, we see a lot of highfalutin websites, but the reality is I can really stay at home, put my own together. Now, it may not be all that in a bag of chips, but I have the opportunity and the ability to do it if I really learned.
The awesome thing about technology is, especially digital technology, web development, mobile development, apps, all that kind of stuff is, it costs $0 to learn this. It's all online. What I'm trying to do through the meetup is provide people a place to come together and learn from each other. But anyone can learn this stuff. It's just about putting the time in and putting the practice in. And the great thing about WordPress is you don't have to put that much time or that much practicing in to get a website up. So, in my work with the incubator, we support small businesses and startups in the South Bronx. We've been doing it for 2 years now. We have like 62 businesses that work out of our location currently. And a lot of them, whether they are tech related or they're not tech related, you need a digital presence. It's 2014, you need to be online if you're trying to make money. So, we provide them something like WordPress, or Wix is another one, but Wix is no coding involved at all. WordPress, you could code and actually customize it a little bit more for them to actually get a web presence up. And instead of having to pay someone a couple $1,000s to build a website when you're first starting a business, that's pretty steep.
Right.
You could do it yourself. Or, even if you don't do it yourself, even if you have someone do it for you, it's important to understand how this stuff works. So number one, you're able to make an informed decision when you're building your website or having someone build it for you. And the great thing about WordPress also is you could change content, change pictures, change text very easily without coding anything at all. So it allows, for me, I do front-end websites for people, for clients. I like to use WordPress because that way they don't have to come get me later when they want to change something. They'll be able to change it themselves.
How easy is it to make the changes?
I mean, you literally log in. There's a panel. You go into the page you're looking at. I mean, you can learn more about this by coming to the workshop, July 12th at the Banknote Building in Hunts Point. But it's very easy. You just copy and paste stuff in. It's not the hardest thing in the world. Right.
Give us a little bit about the Bronx Business Incubator. A very, very powerful tool there.
Yeah. So the Bronx Business Incubator has been around since January 2012. We recently got backed by an organization called BachNet. They provide business outreach to all 5 boroughs and in Newark, New Jersey as well. Great organization. They help people with their business plans, help people get funding, things like that. The incubator has been providing business support. So what we do is we provide co-working space, which is shared office space for small businesses and startups, as well as providing them with in-house business development services and technology development services. So we have legal counselors in-house that can help you set up your LLC. If you have contracts, vendor contracts, client contracts, they can review it for you, all pro bono. It's all included. There's a membership fee, but it's all included within the membership fee. They have financial counselors. I do systems and technology counseling for businesses. So if you do have a website, I can sit down with you and tell you what's good about it, what's bad about it, what you can change, what you can fix. That's all included with being a member. And then we also have, office services, internet access, all that kind of stuff. You can work out of there 24/7. We try to cater to people who are starting businesses and give them all the support they need to make their businesses pop, to hire people, and to get the South Bronx from the grassroots level building up.
What does it mean to have an incubator like that for a startup business or somebody who's just really getting started, to have that little place they can really just get their launch off?
I am a solid believer that if you're starting a business in the Bronx, the incubator is the place to be, because one of the things that's hard about starting any business, especially when you're doing it on your own, is you may be an expert in what you do. You may, if you develop apps, you may be the nicest programmer in the world. But what do you know about legal? What do you know about, developing a revenue stream, developing a financial model, all that kind of stuff? So you have people in-house that can help you with all this stuff. On top of that, you're able to collaborate with other entrepreneurs. We have 60 businesses, 100 entrepreneurs working in, a 12,000 square foot space. You're going to get to know other people doing interesting things. You may find business opportunity there. You may find strategic partnership, opportunity there. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like the ability, it's like an environment built to help you spur your business's growth from like an idea to reality.
And I want people to also take advantage of this, because there is this WordPress workshop that we talked about earlier, and I want to get more information out there to people so that way they can be a part of it. So if you like to do the website thing, you want to find out more information about WordPress, there is this workshop that's available. And Joe, take it away.
So the WordPress workshop is going to be July 12th at the Banknote building in the incubator. The Bronx Digital is doing workshops, collaborative coding sessions, which basically is anyone who wants to get together and work on projects together. We want to provide space for that as well. And we're going to be throughout different locations in the South Bronx. The incubator is one of the main sponsors. So, we're going to have a lot of events there. You can definitely come through and check it out. I'm there. I run the place basically single-handedly. So feel free to stop by. I'd be happy to talk to you about your business, about, whatever website you're working on and whatever web projects you're working on. And we're going to be running, like I said, we're going to be running another event late in July, rather. And then we're trying to set up an entrepreneur panel discussion for tech entrepreneurs based in the Bronx. That's going to be in early August as well. You can check out the meetup. It's meetup.com/the Bronx Digital Meetup. You could learn more about the incubator just by contacting me. My email is joebxincubator, JOEBXINCUBATOR @gmail.com.
Yeah, got that on the bottom down there.
Cool. And also checking out bachnet.org. They're the backers of the incubator, and if you want to learn about some of their business services, you could, feel free to check that out as well. They do a lot of great stuff. If you have a small business, you need some help, either financial help or business plan, business strategy help, they're great for that.
And as I asked the young ladies in the previous segment, give me a word to give to the people, or you give the word to the people for those who might be, a little fearful, and technology is fast advancing, and they feel like they're going to get left behind, so why jump in, because I'm going to get left behind anyway?
Okay. An iOS developer, someone who makes Apple apps, gets paid $200 an hour. There's a lot of money in this. Then there's a need for people who know it, and you can learn it for free.
$200 an hour?
An hour, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There's a lot of money in it. There's a need for it. You can learn it for free, and you'll be able to collaborate and create the next big thing. Okay. Literally from your apartment or through the meetup or whatever. Okay. It can be done anywhere.
Well, thank you so much. And those people who heard $200 an hour, do not leave your job until you have another job. I know it sounds pretty luxurious. So I'll be back here next week. Joe, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. Thank you. It's been a pleasure coming to your homes, because guess what? We're out of time, and we've been in your home. I want to thank you for sharing us in your home. I want to thank the guests for joining us, and most of all, you, the viewer, for tuning in. Now, if you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the Recablecast at 10 p.m. on Cablevision's Channel 67. You don't have that? Well, guess what? Verizon Fios Channel 33. Don't have that? Come on, y'all. Go to the World Wide Web. Technology, baby. www.bronxnet.org. We encourage you to have a great week. Don't forget to keep your heart, your mind, and most of all, this channel wide open. Darren, how me say, take care.